Hey guys, so it's been a couple days, and I was actually working on this, and I was like, hey, I forgot I was recording this. So I did a little bit of work on it from where you last saw me with this. Let's just zoom in and see what I did. Okay, so first of all, I fixed her face a little bit. Still wasn't happy with it. Uh, I took her pupils and so this was the way she looked before. I fixed her a little bit, I think, from the last time I saved it, but I still wasn't happy with it. And then I increased the pupil size, and I think that really made it look better. So here it is. Pupils. This is the smaller pupils. This is the bigger. I don't know why. I just think it looks better. That's all. That's all I really did to it is increase the pupil size. All right. So there's that. And then I put the goggles on her head, which we had talked about. You knew that was there. So the goggles were there. Um, that was the way the goggles looked before, and I did a little editing and painting on them. So there they are now. So you see the painting layer I put in. I did that. I put in her jacket here, and I put in her shirt, and I put a texture on both. I also put pants. So here's the jacket. Here's just the texture on the jacket. I guess the jacket texture somewhere else. I don't know where it's at, but it has a. You can see the texture I wrapped on there. I'm just not for sure I put that. Hmm. Interesting. I thought it was an anyway. Whatever. So there's the texture I have on the jacket, and here's the paint I had on the jacket. So combine the two. There you go. Now, how I did the texture was I had some textures. I brought them in, copied them, pasted them in place, and then here's my texture folder, and then basically just like there's a I was trying out a different piece of camo. Actually, I kind of like it now that I did that to it. Now that I changed the color, I kind of like it, but I don't know. We'll see. I'll think about that. Anyway, I had it ready. Here's one that I used. I don't know where that camouflage one. Where the heck did I get the camouflage one from? Okay, there's that one. I need to label these things. You think? Oh, there's the camouflage. So we'll call this camo. So I remember. I actually kind of like it now. I didn't like it before, but I changed the color, and now I actually kind of like it on there. I might use it. Anyway, whatever. So the shirt has a. So I put these. You see the texture pieces I put in? That's without the texture. Here's with the texture. It just adds something else to it. And I did the same, or a similar texture on the shirt. You see, I got all these textures that are very similar to each other for fabric. There's this one I haven't even used yet. And this one. So anyway, I put it in there, and what I did was I used the. So here, let me show you. So I'll take one that I'm actually probably going to use for the arm anyway. So what you do with it is you overlay it where you want. You can start by putting it kind of the direction you want, more or less close to the size you want. And then you would use the warp tool and you'd bend it so that it curves where it's supposed to curve. Because if it's curving, you're gonna be able to see the curve to the texturing. In some places it'll pull. Some places where it needs to pull, like shirts or clothes or whatever, it will pull. So anyway, so then you just work with it like this, and you get it as close as you can get it to what you want it to be. And then then what I do anyway is I take the so say if I was happy with it right there, uh, I would put it there, and then what I do with it, I was to put the masking tool, and I'd go in and I would mask out all the layers that I don't want on there and that I'm hiding. because I don't want that texturing on the so I'm going on to something else or just off, off of nowhere. Okay, so just match the texturing up to what you're doing. And that's why it's better to use a mask. Okay, and then so that's the texture. So usually you would have it painted first, and I did not have it painted, so let me just put in a paint layer. I don't think there's anything on this layer. I think I was going to use it. I hadn't used it. So I'll go ahead and just put a quick layer in here to show you, because I wasn't ready to start. Well, I was going to actually work on that area, but so right now I'm just going over what I did. But anyway, so you would paint. You'd paint in. I have to make a smaller brush to go down there, but my base color for this arm. Okay, and I'll make my brush smaller, much smaller. Oops, way too small. Just gonna make it a 3. Go ahead and put all the neutral. This is the neutral color for this hand before I put the highlights or the darks. This is the neutral. This I don't have a lot of time today to make this tutorial very long, so don't worry, it won't be too long. Anyway, and then up here, I need to make this texture disappear for just a second, so I can make sure I got my gray where I wanted it. Because actually, I have it in there before I textured it anyway. This would be the texturing would have been my last part. So, what I would do, make sure it's clean. All right. So then you bring your texturing back in there, and you can set it for you can set it for lighten or overlay or multiply, whatever shows up the best. This actually screen shows up pretty good, and so does linear, but I usually go with overlay. Let's see how that looks. Anyway, then you set the opacity down a little bit. Okay, so it does give, you can see the texture of the metal. Okay, and then I kind of like the I don't necessarily like the multiply, but I did like the this one. I think Divide will mess with the color, so I think we're gonna go with let's go screen. So anyway, and it's still a little bit much for what we're doing here. So maybe, I'm not for sure how much I like that on there, but so I was thinking about using it anyway. So what you can do is it doesn't have to be the whole thing. It could be just parts. Kind of looks like carbon fiber, so maybe it's just parts of the arm. You know, like maybe just the shoulder piece. I was messing with the wrong thing. I was messing with the actual paint. No wonder. I think. Yeah, I was. I'll leave the paint alone. I was supposed to be messing with this one. Oh, we can apply the mask before I start messing around with it. And then it... There you go. That's what I was going for. I was trying to get Vista. I wonder why it wasn't working right. I like overlay. Okay, so usually overlay works really well. Overlay or multiply. Depends what you're doing. So anyway, so I'll go back to the original one now. Which was this one? This is... And I'll go ahead and put in my... Now see, I might mask. I might put a mask on it. Oh, that's what I was going to do. A mask up part. Because I was thinking, maybe I only have it on like part of the arm. Like, you know what I mean? Like maybe, you know, like a car would have different parts on the hood or whatever. I'm doing the wrong color again, aren't I? Yes, I am. I want the texture. That's the part I was going to mask. I mean, I can always put it back. It's a mask, so it's not permanent. See what I mean? So maybe the muscular part is still... And maybe only parts of it have that. I don't know. Maybe just the shoulder. Maybe not just the shoulder. I don't know. I'm toying with it at the moment. Figure out what I want to do. So now, right now, it's just the shoulder. I could put it like on the shoulder and on like the bicep. See what I mean? Like just have like a couple portions of it like that. Make it look interesting. I kind of like that. And then the hole obviously wouldn't have it because it's a hole. When there's a line here, it doesn't have it too. Smaller brush. Okay. So... yeah. Alright, so... the arm has it, but... maybe there's a little... niche that glows blue or something, I don't know. And the line layer right here is going to have to get a little bit of cleanup again. Once again with that line layer. I'm always erasing the line layer. Okay. Alright, so there you go. So that's how you'd wrap it on there. Then you go back into the... didn't I label this? I thought I labeled it. Yeah, I did. Okay. Alright, so then here, you go in and you put your any of your kind of light reflections, this kind of thing on here. I like where that's going, but it's much too big. See the way it looks really cool with the texturing. Just lighting it up. It's Light's hitting it. Smaller brush. There you go. And it would be hitting it here too, obviously. Kind of like it like that. See that? It's like just, it's dark, but it's light's reflecting off in a certain spot. If that was the case, then I can also go back in. So the light's only hitting it like that, see? Instead of so much. And it's hitting it, it's just not. There you go. I like that. So anyway, so yeah, so that's one way you could do it. That looks pretty neat. And the rest of the metal, you could, in theory, still paint it that way. You just hit the light on it. And I could put this same texture in there to add to that. These are too big. I like these light spots. I have to make them smaller for the... It's like the knuckles. Okay, so if I wasn't going to have the little light there you go. It doesn't need to always be so bright, I guess. Too much. Too much is too much. Fact. I say that. This should be probably less too. Somehow. Okay, that's what I want. Alright, so let's go back with the brush, but with smaller hits of light. Still think it looks great right here. I like this part right a lot. That I like a lot. Okay, that looks really good. All right, so here, I guess I got to hit it all in the right spot to make it look right. Maybe that's what's going on. Now really smaller spots. Just kind of following the edges here of things. Just catching the light. Remember, I told you it only hits the edges of things. So, I can light these edges, but it's kind of a flare only in certain spots. Okay, and then here, I like that it's there, but it's got to hit the edges a little bit too. And here, it's going to hit this corner piece, and it's going to hit over here, and it's going to hit this edge. It's going to hit here, it's going to hit here, there. And it's going to hit this. It's going to be ching, 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 ching. Ching, ching. And that's this little edge here. Then this thing is going to get hit. This one's going to have a little bit, just like that one. Nope, I had it perfect the first time, right there. And then real small. Nope, just too much. Just a little bit. I don't even know. Just a little, just catching this edge. It's hitting right there. Okay. This thing's gonna have a little bit of a well around the edge. Okay. That's all you really need for that arm. It looks good. But I can go back now and put some, just punch up the darks a little bit. If the light's hitting it so hard. But you don't want to go crazy with this. Once again, just a little bit. A little bit will go a long, long way. You just give it a little contrast, that's all. Punching it up a little bit. Pump it up where you need it. Pump it up, just don't stop. Alright, now, that's not even the highlights. Bam, 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 bam. You gotta be really sparingly with these. Because these are the, like, really, really, really bright spots. Okay. It's pretty neat how metal works like that when it's reflective. Look at that. Just a couple little things. Like bing, ching, ching. And there it is. It's like just bam. It's there. You know? Okay, and here. And then we're going to come back in, and like I said, we're going to put a... No, I think that's distracting too much. Alright, there you go. Look at that. That looks pretty nice, and not much work at all, really. I'll do one more thing. I'll go a half-tone gray in here. Right under the highlight point. It just adds a little bit. To pull it up. It would also work as a shadow in here. Just a couple little. See? Not much, just a little bit. Adds to it. A little half-tone gray in there. Gives it a little pump. Pump it up. Pump it up, homeboy. Just don't stop. Okay. Alright. There you go. Pretty neat, huh? Nice, pretty arm. Okay. Alright, so I put a background in too. It's closed at the moment, but we can... I think it says whatever, but it's gonna be in there when I'm done. I haven't done a lot to it, but I like the metal background. This kind of a red metal. I don't know if that's gonna be the permanent background for sure, but I just put it in there for right now. I don't know, but something's gonna be back there. I don't know what yet. If that, something else. I still haven't made a weapon yet. Okay, so I got to do her belts, gun, and boots. That's it. Oh, and tennis shoes. So these are gonna be like Space Converse. So I think they're gonna be black with white tips, like Converse, and white heels, white stitching. And then these are going to be, I don't know the color of those yet. I'm thinking, they could be black and white metal. It could be black and gold. I don't know why black and gold. I don't even usually make gold stuff, but they could be silver and black. They could be this color here that matches the arm. But I like the arm to stand out by its own original part, so I don't know if I'll make these that way. Any side of these boots yet? These parts of the boots. The belts are going to be brown. The clips will all be silver. The gun will be a gray of some sort, and I don't know what the prop's going to be yet. I don't even know what it's going to be yet. It's probably going to be a long rifle of some sort. So, not for sure. But there it is so far. Like I said, this won't be a long video. I'm going to come back to it later. I have some stuff I have to take care of. I just wanted to put a little bit of time into it. Well, actually, I did a little bit, and I thought, I hadn't recorded it, so I'm going to go. I wanted to record it. So there you go. Let's see. This video has been 30 minutes. That's long enough for right now. I'll do another 30-minute one later or more. 30 minutes. I'll do all the belts, and the shoes. Okay, so we'll stop here.